There we go. Okay, hello, my name is Arnie Miles. I'm with Georgetown University. Close and lock the doors, no one escapes. All right, I'm here to talk about a project that we're working on in conjunction with Sun, and which wouldn't be possible without the kind benevolence of Sun, and to see what I can't do about getting some more involvement from the community in general. We're working on a secure attribute-based infrastructure for distributed computational environments. Before I go any further, our website is thebes.arc.georgetown.edu. That will be visible on the last slide as well, but I want to make sure I say it often. That website right now is basically a white paper that James Simon from Sun and I co-authored, so it's very interesting, I think. So the goals of our project are to connect users to resources via a networking infrastructure. And we argue the three elements must be attracted: users, resources, and the physical infrastructure. Now, I am going to start by taking an exception with the use of the word grid that corporations, including Sun, have made. I make no apologies for this. I come from academia, and in academia where grid started, Ian Foster defined it a certain way, and I like to stick with that, and that's fine. I enjoyed Fritz's comment about multi-cluster, where he deferred the security off to the home institution. Fine with me. Our argument is that this project is going to talk about the security implications. By definition, the grid connects users across administrative domains to resources to perform computationally intensive work. And this concept of crossing administrative domains is critical to the success of a grid project. Now, I am 6'6". I have lost 40 pounds, and I still weigh 337 pounds. I take issue to the argument that one size fits all. I truly take issue to that. And in fact, I have a slide that demonstrates that. That is one of my coworkers, Michelle, wearing one of my sweaters. But this is where it gets really weird. One size doth not fit all. And the people who have developed grid middleware to date have been arguing that certificates are the only way to maintain grid security. We argue that that is no way at all. We argue that instead, we want to do the best we can to adopt the security model that enterprise is already using. You know, I'm standing right here. I don't know why I'm using the remote. It's just technology. Why did I jump to the very end? Oh, see, that's what happens when you try and trust technology. Technology fails you. So the remote control goes in the pocket. The grid is dead. The term has fallen into discredit. It's been misused by corporations. It is failing to live up to expectations. It was built for a single specific community. How many high-energy physicists are in the room today? Oh, we got one. I figured we'd pull a blank. Well, okay, I'm sorry. There's what, 100 people here? 200? One high-energy physicist. Your needs have been solved. Ian did you right. No problem. The trouble is, the rest of us have an issue. How many high-energy physicists are there on the planet? That's okay. I thought it would be less than that. And how many supercomputing centers? A couple dozen. Scalability was not in the grand scheme, and that's okay. Not every software has to be hammered into every solution. But what happened is it became popular. The press grabbed a hold of it. Everybody wanted to do something. I did a monster.com search on grid jobs across the United States, the entire United States. I got 5 hits, and 3 of them misused the word. That is my indication of how popular the grid is in the commercial space. So, fine. I understand Sun has all but banned the use of the word. Oracle, by the way, is the worst offender. Pardon me? Somebody said something? All right. Oracle is the worst offender. Any Oracle people? Never mind. Don't tell me. You can stone me later. It's okay. You all have marketing departments. They do their thing. We're arguing that the real solution isn't arguing over the word, the use of the word, or Fritz's use of the word, or Oracle's use of the word, or Sun's use of the word, or anybody. We're just going to do something different. We're going to confederate. Now, I got this big definition of confederation. Ignore it. That's just there for completeness' sake. The point is, if you belong to a confederation, you can belong to more than one. You can join and leave easily. You're not committed. You don't lose any of your autonomy. The South shall rise again. Sorry. It was clearly an American-centric joke. Never mind. There was a war back in the 1860s, Civil War. No, never mind. So this idea of confederated computing amuses me. It thrills me. The idea is we can allow organizations to easily come and go. And so to that extent, we have created the Thebes Consortium. Again, don't bother reading the slide. Thebes was an ancient Greek city with 100 gates. We thought the analogy was cool. We're going to try and connect together 100 organizations, virtual organizations, real organizations, users together. It's just a word that we chose. So the Thebes Consortium is being created at Georgetown. Oh, they are coming back up. It's created at Georgetown University to design and build a new generation of grid middleware, or of middleware. I'm going to drop the word grid as often as I can. Sun Microsystems has funded the creation of this consortium. They're paying a good piece of my salary and my travel. They're being super generous. I cannot do this without Sun. I cannot say enough about how generous Sun has been towards getting this going. It is in our interest to get existing and potential Sun customers and others interested in this new computing structure to participate in its creation, the design, collect use cases, and really do something that's applicable across the board. Success in this project will further the growth of the grid in general, or whatever we're going to call it. And of course, it helps Sun. It helps sell Sun Identity Management Software. It helps with Sun Grid Engine. I imagine it's going to help with Luster now. I didn't even know Luster was part of Sun when I wrote these slides. I can't keep up. Guys, stop buying each other. Success will also result in a widespread adoption of grid technologies across all sectors. Once we make it scalable, we can make a global computational grid. Scalability is the issue. Some high-level use cases have already been identified. And here come my use cases. And don't read that because I'm going to list each one individually right now, and I don't have much time to read that. First of all, with some exceptions, resource owners generally do not care about the identities of users, but may require attributes about the users. In other words, if you own a resource, you don't care about each person's name. Don't hold up that sign yet, please. What you care about is attributes about that person. In this example, he's a cancer researcher on the faculty at Georgetown. And if I own a resource and I'm working with Georgetown, and I say I don't work there, I want to allow cancer researchers who have faculty status at Georgetown 100% access. Students, I might let them on at 4 a.m. Duke University, I might not let them on at all, but Clemson, got to mention Clemson. Hi, Jim. Clemson, I might let on, all day, because I like Jim. He's all right. He was nice to me. Okay? They must be impressive. Okay. Resource owners should not require advanced or pre-negotiated knowledge of remote users. User asks, resource owner, may I use your resource? And the resource owner says, well, who are you? And he says, well, I'm Dr. Bob. Here's my certificate subject line for my X.519 certificate. And the resource says, okay, I've manually added you to my resource file, but hey, be sure to let me know if they fire you or if you quit, so I can disallow you. Now, we all know who work in the grid space that that's not 100% accurate anymore. We know about VOMs and about GUMs where they aggregate attributes, but then we lose things. We lose user information. We lose accounting information. It's gone. Too much responsibility is at the resource owner's space. So we're proposing a modified grid security infrastructure. I even brought my pointer with me. This looks very similar to the current grid security infrastructure, except in the current one, all you have is X.509 credential support. We argue that we should add SAML, Security Attribute Markup Language. Okay, that's better. I like that sound. Security Attribute Markup Language. We want to add that. We want to leave the arena open for somebody else to join the consortium and build other things like Kerberos or whatever else it may be. Our personal interest is SAML. I'm doing this as fast as I can. Every resource, again, these are the high-level 30,000-foot use cases. Every resource must be able to enforce policy. So we're going to have a policy engine of some sort in this, where a local instance of federation policies plus the local policies plus departmental policies plus resource policies equal effective policy document. Well, this is pretty obvious. This is DNS model. I don't need to spend as much time on that. Resource owners must be protected from execution of dangerous applications. I love this. Look at this rogue code jumping in there. Okay, we need to protect our resource from rogue code. The obvious solution to me to do that is a portal where the applications are predefined. UCLA's portal that Bill LaBont put together is fascinating to us, and we're talking to him about working together. I don't know how that's going to go down, so maybe premature to even say his name. But a portal's an obvious solution. We have some anecdotal information, mostly from the University of Wisconsin folks, who tell us that their users still love the command line. I don't know. I'm willing to listen. This is something that's critical for the commercial space, but it's also critical in any place where resources are funded, and that is tracking usage. Dr. Zhivago, Dr. Who, and Dr. Detroit are all using resources, and we need to be able to track that. And this is what I was talking about in the VOMS and the GUMS model earlier. A lot of this user information is lost when you aggregate users. And why would you want to add one more level to an already complicated software stack? Users want there to be no distinction between local and grid resources in their ease of use. Here I got an old IBM P690 and one of our available clusters. Users don't want to think about it. They want to just do their science or their economics or whatever it may be. They don't want to worry about the grid. Users seldom care where their job is executing. This is important. TerraGrid is a wonderful thing. It's a nationally funded project. It's huge. But you've got to think about where you're sending your job before you do it. You've got to do all this pre-negotiation. It's great and all, but you've got to know where you're sending your job. Wouldn't it be nice to go to a portal, log in using your home institution credentials, launch a job, and go out to lunch, and let somebody else figure out where it's going to run? Of course, users should have automatic access to all resources whose policies they satisfy. There we got our user. We got what we call a resource discovery node. I'll show you more later. This resource rejected him. This resource rejected him. This one's okay. And let's get another one on just for good measure. Automation. That's what it's all about. We're in the automation business, ladies and gentlemen. We forgot. Resource discovery network. I just got a real quick slide on this. This is purely speculative. It's going to be designed by use case and by requirements, but this is how we kind of see this up front. And fundamentally, you have two resources accompanying the university down there. They each have their own scheduler client. They could be Condor, they could be Sun Grid Engine, they could be PBS, they could be Platform LSF, whatever it may be. It doesn't matter. We need a common resource discovery network, a peer-to-peer network that collects the information from the closest clusters and shares it on a peer-to-peer basis. The Napster of grid computing. Okay, in order to do that, we're going to need a common language. We're thinking of writing it in Jigsaw, which is a Sun variant of it's an outgrowth of Java. I don't know, but we're thinking about that's. But again, this is all in the speculation mode. Descriptors of resources. In order to do that, we have to have a common language, And this is just some examples of what descriptors of resources might look like. Part of this is a resource discovery network scheduler client, which works in a similar manner to any of our cluster level scheduler managers. In summary, current grid middleware needs to be reevaluated. We need to rip it down and start from scratch. It's a wonderful concept that is not scaling. A new breed of scalable, secure, attribute-based middleware needs to be created. We should try to maintain backwards compatibility where possible. If you recall my picture of the GSI, I still had the X.509 piece in there. We need to encourage users and resources to join by providing simple, scalable, and secure interfaces. And we will create middleware that will result in a modern, secure, and scalable, global, shared computational resource. So, I now issue to you a call to arms. Call to arms. Who's with me? All right. I got a couple of yays. The time has come to design, fund, and build this new class of open source resource sharing software that meets the needs of the overall community. Based upon use cases and requirements that come from a broad spectrum of community advisors and contributors. Again, scalability, security, simplicity. What I'm calling on right now, what I am bringing to the table is this. Georgetown has been tasked with running this consortium, with putting it together. We are trying to collect university, government, and commercial enterprises who are interested in this subject. I need funding help from the industry to try and keep developers at various universities across the world funded to do this work. Grad students, professionals, whatever it may be. We can, as a community, build scalable, simple, secure grid software. For further information, there's our website again, thebes.arc.georgetown.edu. Right now, there's a copy of a white paper on that site. It's a portal. You can request a login. You can make comments. If you become one of my developers or one of my funding partners, you can actually write use cases and write other stuff and create new content. GridsWatch is Georgetown's portal on this grid technology in general. That's my email address, adm35@georgetown.edu. And my primary contact at Sun is James Simon. James Simon is the co-author of the paper that was listed on the website. He has been an invaluable resource. I want to thank Sun for his presence and everybody else's presence. As a matter of fact, I'll close with my thanks to slide. Nobody. Sun Microsystems and all these people that are popping up on the screen right now, and probably several more that I forgot. But James gave me this list, so if it's wrong, blame him. I can just pass that buck, don't I? And then a few people, my coworkers at Georgetown. Chad LaJoy was my principal developer. He was an Internet 2 shibboleth developer. He is now with Switch in Switzerland. Sorry, all those Norwegian, all the same. He's now a developer for Switch in Switzerland, but he's still involved with the project. So there's our team, and that's my last slide. Do you have any questions? Can I help you with anything? Can I take money? Thank you.
Any questions?